Thank you for tuning back in to the channel. It's your boy Pelican Bay Kennels, giving it to you the way I always do. Fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it and some ain't. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Don't forget to hit them likes before you get up out of here. And don't forget to get up in them comments. Let's get that news on for the day. All right, today we getting straight down to the point, straight down to the program. Shout out to all the Bulldoggers in the East, West, North, and the South. Shout out to all the Bulldog women out there doing their thing, across the world. All the Bulldoggers across the world. Shout out to all the Bulldoggers across the world. Hope y'all having a great day. First thing we're going to talk about, because I was talking about how the groups coming and doing this illegal stuff to get the dogs. All right, next trap you got to watch out for, my dog brothers and my dog sisters, is when they confiscate your dogs. Now your dogs have a price to get them back. You're not charged with any kind of fight and anything like that, but your dogs have a price to get them back, say $20,000 or whatever. All right, say you can afford to pay it, $30,000, you can afford to pay it. All right, you pay that price, now you got your dogs back. But guess what? Your dogs got chips in them. All your dogs got chips in them, from the puppies to the grown dogs. So now, this is where the next problem gonna come in at. It ain't come in at like this all the way tight yet, I don't think, but we don't know. But we know it's coming like this. You can just see it coming. All your dogs chipped in them, from your puppies to your grown dogs when you get them back. Now, whenever you go out to sell your puppy, you sold somebody a puppy with a chip in it. Whether you know it or whether you don't know it. You sold somebody a puppy with a chip in it, which isn't bad, okay? Because it is bad and it isn't bad. It isn't bad because, it's just going to find a lost dog. But it is bad because that chip is going to always lead back to you. No matter where that puppy goes throughout his life, if he end up in a dog fighting ring, that chip comes back to you. That chip comes back to you. When you sell that grown dog that you got back from the dog pound, he's going to be chipped. If you got 50 dogs and you got them all back from the dog pound, all 50 dogs going to be chipped. Now, when you sell them, it's just going to lead back to you regardless. You know what I'm saying? If the dogs, if you got 3 dogs out here with these chips in it, say all your dogs got chips in it when you got them back. Now, out of all them dogs you got, you had some that you wanted to sell, you end up selling uh, 10 to 15 of them dogs. You sold 15 of them dogs. Now, out of them 15 dogs that spread out across the country, all of them got chips in it. Out of them 15 dogs, a few of them get into some trouble. A few of them get into some trouble, and now you got your name coming up on a chip in Idaho, your name coming up on a chip in Texas, your name coming up on a chip in Florida with dog fighting, with the dogs out there fighting, and all of them coming back to you. Now you tell me if that ain't a problem in the making. I guess you could say it ought to be illegal for anybody to stick something in your dog as chip wise. I'm not talking about medicine or none of that. I'm talking about chip wise. It should be illegal for anybody to place that in your dog if your dog's coming back home without your permission. You know what I'm saying? It's not mandatory to have a chip in your dog. So if I'm getting my dogs back and you got a chip in them, that's kind of like almost like, spying almost. And ordinarily, you wouldn't care anything about your dog being chipped, because you can find your dog. But at the end of the day, when you see they're doing illegal things and illegal stuff when it comes to these pit bulls, you kind of like, dang, I don't want my dog chipped. You know what I'm saying? I might decide to sell him, and it ain't no telling where this dog life leads him once he leaves my yard. His life could lead him all the way. He might end up somewhere in Japan, somewhere in, ain't no telling where that dog end up at. In some corner of California, some corner of Oregon, some corner of New York. Ain't no telling where the dog end up at, and he still got the chip with my address on it, my name on it, leading back to me. And if the dog is just so happy ends up in a box, end up in a dog fighting ring, it's going to lead back to you with you not knowing nothing about it at the end of the day. And I'm going to leave it at that. Move on to the next. Now I want to talk about the difference between conditioning and training. Because we quick to say during conditioning, we training our dogs. No, that's conditioning. It's a difference between training and conditioning. When you training your dog, it's a lifetime thing. You start from a puppy. I'm not talking about training him to sit, stay, and none of that. I'm talking about training him for life. Training him for whatever the purpose that you got for him. It's a difference between training and conditioning. Training, you taking him from a hand puppy, taking him places, doing things with him, putting him in spots where he gonna, where he, is gonna make him comfortable later on when he's a grown dog. That's training a dog. Doing things with him when he's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months old that's gonna benefit him later on down the line. That's training a dog. When he's, making sure that you cross your T's and dot your I's from whatever, activities you're gonna have him in later on in the future. Conditioning is just training, it's just getting your dog physically fit, for a particular situation. And it's only for that particular situation, Conditioning, I'm getting him ready for this particular show. I'm getting him ready for this particular activity, That's conditioning. Conditioning is only a time, it's a time limit thing. When training is something that you're doing to benefit his whole life. That conditioning is only benefiting him for that event. But that training you're doing is benefiting him throughout his life. Whether it's training him around people, whether it's training him in the house, whether it's training him to ride in cars, you gotta put all that training into them dogs. You know what I'm saying? Because you get a dog jump on a car, now his stomach all screwed up. His stomach screwed up, head might be screwed up. Now, you don't even have 100% dog when you're going to your show because he done vomited halfway to the show, throwing all up. Like, your dog's not 100% no more. He a little out of whack. So that's where the training come in at. A dog that's used to all that. Making him used to all the environmental things that he would cross throughout his life. That's what you want to do. I seen dogs that you couldn't be loud around. You can't clap your hands around them. They were just gibbery from all kind of sudden movements. That's what training is. Having your dog used to all that stuff throughout his life. So when people move fast, it don't scare him. When people clap their hands, when people yell, it don't scare him. That's what training is. Conditioning has nothing to do with training. Conditioning is conditioning. Training is training. Now I want to touch back on the subject I was talking about before with these paperless dogs out here now. All these paperless papers without dogs that's out here now. But first, I want to touch on something somebody asked me. They asked me in my last chat, was Fat Bill a dog man? My thing is, I don't know if y'all trying to be funny or y'all just wanted some type of answer from me. But this is my answer though. I told you, you could have just been being honest. Just wanted to know honest opinion. All right. Does a fat kid love cake? You know what I'm saying? You asking me about Fat Bill, I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. You know what I'm saying? Great dog man, far as I know. A lot older than me. Brother put down a lot of work in the game before I even got in the dog game. You know what I'm saying? When wasn't no internet like it is now, wasn't no Facebook, it was just online peds. And you had your internet, just getting on your Google sites and all that type of stuff. When it was the old message board, before online peds come out, it was another message board out way back in the days. Just the regular internet, you had Finkel Winkle Keep, you had California Jack Keep, and you had Fat Bill stuff up there. I don't know what to tell you as far as if you don't think Fat Bill's a dog, man. Whether you like him, whether you don't like him, we ain't here to talk about that. We talking about, is the man a good dog man? Take care of his dogs, do his dogs right, and handle his dogs right. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But, yeah, man. At the end of the day, a dog man is a man, like I said, a man who take care of his dogs, do his dogs right, and put his foot down right in the dog game. And, can't say nothing else about that, as far as that brother right there. He put it down. Now, back to these dogs, because I really wanted to get back on this subject, because this is going to be a situation too as well. Back to that subject when I was talking about all the brothers who lost their dogs over the past year. Now we're going to tally that up. We got 100 from up north. We got 300 from South Carolina. We got 100 from Georgia. That's 500 in the past couple months. We're going to say 2,000 dogs took from across California to the United States in the past year. All right, we got 2,000 dogs took. We didn't get 2,000 papers registrations took from these brothers. Okay, now it doesn't take but one dog that's with a major breeder that ain't off the papers that he says off of to change the whole game of these bloodlines. If it's one breeder out there who's making a lot of sales, who's a real popular breeder, and he gets a particular dog and decides he want to paper peddle that dog and put papers on him, he's not really that bloodline. If that breeder is a popular breeder, he can shift the whole game. When you thinking you got red boy dogs, you got Eli dogs, and you doing all your breedings, you selling dogs. The people you getting your dogs from thinking they this dogs. The people that's getting dogs from them thinking they getting these dogs. People that's getting dogs from them people thinking they getting these kind of dogs. And the whole time, it's not even that kind of dog. Like one dog man can change the whole game with a fake pedigree. So imagine what 2,000 dogs can do. Now we talking 2,000 dogs from 2021, 2023, the beginning of 2023. Okay, that's the light number. All right, 2,000 dogs missing from their paperwork. Some of the law officers confiscated the paperwork. Like I said, some of them didn't. Now, all these papers out here floating around. How many dogs going to end up being Jeep dogs? That dogs with no papers, no pedigrees, no backgrounds. Going to end up being Eli dogs, no papers, no background. Going to end up being yellow dogs, no papers, no backgrounds. And that's just from 2021 to 2023. So imagine the dogs that's been peddled since 2001 to 2021. And you tell me, can we confidently say that we all have Red Boy Jocko, that we all have Jeep, that we all have Eli, that we all have Bolio dogs. That's why I say, brothers, stop worrying about these papers that y'all so gassed up on. It's the dog in front of you. Is he putting that work down? Is he kicking up dust at the end of the day? Worrying about these papers, and 9 times out of 10, I can say now 5 times out of 10, that's half 50% chance. You know what I'm saying? 50% chance is super high. That's high for your dog to say your dog could not have a 50% chance that his pedigree could be wrong. That's real high. Real high. Now we talking 2,000 dogs in the last year. And it don't take but one dog to change the game for everybody. If Brother Garner, just use this brother as an example, great dog, man. If Brother Garner decided he wanted to get a dog from the dog pound and put papers on him, don't you know how that would change the game for the next 10 years? For brothers who thinking they getting dogs off of New Zealand Jack. New Zealand Jack is Mr. Garner's new dog that he's studying out. And he's a pure Chinaman dog. Pure Chinaman, supposed to be. But in actuality, he come from the dog pound. All right? So everybody who's getting dogs off of New Zealand Jack for the next 10, 15 years that's doing their inbreeding, that's doing their crossbreeding, that's breeding with this, that's breeding with that, selling these dogs to these people, selling these dogs to that people. None of the dogs is really what you say it is. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. You blinded in this situation. You blinded. But that's why I say, man, that's why I say it's a very good chance, that a majority of these dogs don't come off Red Boy. That a majority of these dogs don't come off Jeep. That a majority of these dogs don't come off Eli. Not coming off Bolio strain dogs. And the possibilities are getting higher and higher and higher and higher as the years go on. Now, if these busts and raids keep going on like they're going on for the next 5 years, then we talking about 20 years later, who gonna have, a legit pedigree? That you can confidently say, I know these dogs off these dogs. But hey, that's just my opinion. But it's starting to look more like facts. You know what I'm saying? Now to make 80 Bag get the point, because you got to make them get the point. To make them get the point, when my brothers and sisters call in to get their papers registered, what y'all need to start asking them, and they will get the point. Start asking them, can these papers be considered evidence for me with dog fighting? Because I don't want that. I want to get my dog registered and get it registered in my name, but I don't want this to be no evidence for some type of stuff that I ain't involved with. Everybody need to start asking ADBA when they talk to these folk that when they call, enough people calling, enough people saying, asking them the same questions, they going to have to get it right. You know what I'm saying? They going to have to get it right. And like I said, they're going to have to put something on their papers verifying that these dogs aren't used for certain things, at least supposed to be used for certain things. And you can't use them papers to go against nobody, Enough people call in. When you call in and get that dog registered tomorrow, say, I hope, we try to make sure that these papers that we get can't be used against us and used as evidence for something we're not even doing. And see what they're going to say. See what their response is. Enough people ask them that, they going to make some changes or they going to do something about it. There ain't one business in this country, and I'm quite sure it go like that across the world. Ain't one business in this country that when the people who deal in that business, who giving that business all the business, start cutting back on what they doing and them funds start getting lower, that business start, they start paying attention to what's going on. They start catering to their customers then. Like Burger King say, it's the customers. You're always right, you know what I'm saying? It's your way. You get it your way. You know? Well, we want it our way now. We want to be treated fairly. That's all. You know what I'm saying? We ain't asking for nothing extravagant. You know, we just want to be treated fairly. Brother should be able to walk in his backyard with 20 dogs, 30 dogs, and not feel like, oh, he in some type of ring. Because I got 30 dogs, I'm a ring? No, man. No. Handle me how I conduct myself. You know? And if I'm conducting myself in the right order, don't handle me no kind of other way. If I'm conducting myself as a dog fighter, conducting means actions. Doing. Then handle me like that. But if I'm not, you know, if I'm just, say for instance, just up here talking, doing my videos, talking about this old history, talking about this, talking about that, that don't mean hill of beans. That don't mean hill of beans. I'm no different than the man who got Robert De Niro and Al Pacino playing in the movies. Because I write books. I'm an author. I'm a movie script writer. I got a creative mind when it comes to certain things, so you never know when I'm making up something. I'm no different than the rapper that's rapping about stuff, except I'm the rapper that's trying to rap about stuff on the, like Common and the boys, maybe trying to keep you on the right track. I ain't the rapper that doing the drill music, telling you to go kill, and getting millions, and the government love it, and they don't care nothing about that because you got folk who getting paid behind the scenes, this and that, you know, making millions and dollars. But it ain't like that, you know what I'm saying? On the other hand, when it comes to these dogs, you know, it ain't like that. And like the brother said a while back, I guess it's a big money thing, and everybody trying to figure out their way to tap in on that industry. So I guess this is their way of tapping in on the money that's coming in to the pit bulls without actually going to start their yard up and get dogs, buy dogs and sell them. They just go take yours and you know, make money on that end. Because they're not adopting the dogs out for free. You can't just go adopt a dog for free. You're going to pay a small fee for it. And I've even seen some dogs that get adopted out for $400 or $500 when you go check certain adoption places, you know, around the country. This dog being adopted out, $400 or $500. Man, what? I thought adoption fee was $50, $75 or something. Y'all taking people's dogs and turning around and selling them. See, a lot of these brothers just want to have a piece of history. They love the dog, and when it comes to the papers and all that, they just want a piece of history, have a piece of history in their yard. You know, and just because the history comes down from bad stuff doesn't mean that person is bad. Does it mean you're bad because you want to have a musket, a collector's item musket from the Civil War that got countless, this actual musket was actually used in the Civil War, and it's got countless bodies on it. And that's what makes it so valuable, because it's actually from that era, and you got it in your house hanging up. But does that make you a bad person? F no. You're just a guy who want to collect something from part of history. That don't make you a bad person. You know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, and like I said, you know, it's to the point where we need people in the law system, in the government, that are still loving dog men. You know, that's still in the dog game, not necessarily saying they're going to any competitions or none of that, but, you know, occasionally they will pop up to a show, or they still like the breed. Even if they don't pop up at the shows, they still like to talk about it when getting with a pit bull enthusiast. You know, we need them kind of people in the government to you know, to speak on our behalf, to say that everything that they say about these pit bulls ain't what they say about these pit bulls. You know, We have these ignorant brothers get up here every day and talk this ignorant shit, talking about everything isn't a pit bull, this and that, talking ignorant for 14 and 15 years, and be on YouTube 13 and 14 years talking about ignorant stuff that don't matter, going around in circles over and over and over. 14 years later, you're still talking ignorant stuff, everything it isn't a pit bull. But yet, the problem we have today is everybody isn't dog fighters. Every pit bull owner isn't a dog fighter. So we should just lay back and just let our sisters take over the dog game for the next 5 years and see how that end up. You know, because a lot of our sisters ain't in the dope game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our sisters ain't doing none of this stuff illegal out here that we do, that we get caught up in. So let's just let our sisters take control of the dogs. You know what I'm saying? Let our sisters run the dog game. See, if I'm out here doing all this stuff, I'm out here running in the streets, I don't got no dogs. My wife might got some. My girlfriend might got some. I don't got none. You know what I'm saying? So whatever she do, I don't feed them mothers. I don't do nothing. She take care of them. So anything I do has no effect on our dogs in this house because those are her dogs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like we just trying to fight back from being bullied. Like anybody who get bullied, you can't just keep getting punch, and you ain't gonna fight back. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know, when you bully people, that's what caused people to come back and do some of these mass shootings. You know what I'm saying? Not saying all of them, but some folk get bullied and come back and spray up the whole scene because you done picked on them or you done did this and you done made them feel like he ain't had no other choice. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't saying, bulldog people gonna go kill nobody. No, but the bulldog people gonna fight back. You know what I'm saying? The bulldog people gonna say enough is enough. Enough is enough. You know, I'm willing to go out however I gotta go out. You know what I'm saying? To make sure and to get my point across that it ain't right. And it ain't going down like that today. See, we want to learn about the Eli blood. We want to learn about the red boy Jocko, the Jeep, the Mr. Ebony, we want to learn about all these bloods, and that's good, and that stuff is interesting. And, you know, when you hear about a story you never heard about, you know, it's all good and dandy. But in reality, the dogs are being wiped away right up under your noses. The same dogs you're reading about being wiped away right up under your noses. You know, you take Mr. Floyd dogs, a whole family of dogs. Like I said, they don't care about locking you up. You know, that's just the riffle and raffle when they first come get your dog. Knowing that they ain't got no case, they're not worrying about locking you up. You out of jail, all they worry about is keeping that family of dogs. Extermination. A modern day extermination plan. You know what I'm saying? Modern day extermination. And if the leading groups for doing all this stuff are not the law enforcement. Law enforcement is not leading the way when it comes to getting for these dogs. It's these groups. It's these privately owned groups being funded by the tree huggers and all that. They leading the way. And like I said, when they come, they don't come to check. They come to eradicate, to get rid of, to confiscate, take, lie, whatever they got to do, but your dogs ain't going to be there. Now, we can learn about Eli, we can learn about Jeep, but if we don't get our shit together, that's all we're going to be doing, learning about them old dogs, because the dog you're going to have in your yard going to be mixed with a blue dog. Yeah, it's going to be mixed with a blue dog, because the brother had a blue female, and he knew somebody who had a game dog. He had papers on his dog, but he ain't had no dogs. He bred that blue dog to that game dog. He just joked around with his fellas. Hey, I ain't going to do nothing. I'm just selling these puppies for $100. You know, sold the blue ones, kept one of the brown ones. Now, they didn't know he had papers on that dog. Now, to all the people who don't know that brother, when he breed that dog that came out brown off that blue dog with them papers that say Jeep, You ain't gonna know no different. Yeah, your dog, and wonder why your dog stopping in 5 minutes. Wonder why your dog curling up, running, acting like a biatch. Because it got a little blue in him. And it say Jeep Eli. It say Jeep Bolio. But it ain't Jeep Bolio, it's Jeep Blueo. Yep. Yes, sir. You know, and it ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. It's the way it's gonna be going down. In the last 5 years, them folks done took over 5,000 dogs from prominent dog men. Dog men with names, dog men who selling dogs, dog men who got families of dogs who, are in the game. And they took all these dogs from different people across the world, across the country rather. And these papers just sitting in your drawers, looking all good, looking all nice. And now we got all these dog channels out talking about all these pedigrees and different things. A person will get antsy. They'll get antsy. Man, I got to get me a dog. I wanted to get back in the game. I got these papers. I ain't got a dog. And they don't even care about the actual dog because this game is about money these days. So since it's so much about money, they don't care about they giving you a part blue dog, part Shar-Pei. They don't care about that. All they care about is selling that they got the proof for these dogs is this with these paperwork. ADBA registered probably. When they give you this paperwork and these dogs, that's all that matters to them. And you giving them their money. That's all that matters. They don't care that you're going to go out there and be not satisfied with your product. They don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? All they care about is getting that dollar in their pocket and letting you go about your business. And yet, a lot of y'all guys, y'all high on dog men who just want your dollar. A lot of y'all real super high on a dog man who won't even treat you like nobody if they ain't getting no dollar from you. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. We got to make some changes in the dog game if the dog game going to sustain. If it's going to stay above the water. And the first thing you got to do is keep ignorant folk out the dog game. Keep them ignorant folk out the dog game. If you a bulldog, man, stay in your bulldog lane. Stay in your bulldog lane. Don't bring no irrelevant heat to the pit bull brothers out there. Try to keep bulldoggers. If you dealing with them pit bull brothers or sisters, try to keep them on a level head or going forward and positive. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell them nothing that's going to lead them down the wrong track. And like I always say, if y'all brothers and sisters can't listen to these stories and not go out there and try to live out these stories that we give y'all from back in the days, then that's you being stupid. You know what I'm saying? You being stupid because we're in different times. Like I always say, modern day times, it ain't yesterday's price ain't today's price. Like the boys always say. Yesterday's price ain't today's price. And it goes like that all the way around the board. You can't go out here and do this stuff that brothers is telling you these stories about and telling you they did back in them days. And like I said before, it's a benefit from going through things way back in the days. And it's a benefit from changing your life over, doing certain things on the different end than what you was doing in them days. Now, if you was a killer back then and you still out here killing people or still out here robbing people and you was a robber back then and you still out here robbing people, you can't be talking about trying to do this and trying to do that because you still doing the same thing. But when you make changes in your life from this to that, you try to help people. Tell them what not to do this or what not to do that. And then, at the end of the day, folk only want to hear certain things. You know what I'm saying? This new generation ain't like our generation. We was sponges. We took things in like sponges. This new generation they know it all. They know how to do every damn thing. And they doing every damn thing fucked up. Everything. On down to the damn drugs. Killing people with the fentanyl. That's y'all modern day folk though, man. Folk in my area got money. Folk in this area, I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on for this area. But shout out to my young brothers. Y'all will get it together after a while, the ones who ain't got it together. Some of y'all young brothers already got it together out there, doing y'all thing, and big ups to y'all brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't everybody. It's just some of them, you know. Some bad apples out there. It ain't all, but a lot of good brothers getting entangled with the bad apples. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I ain't gonna be here too long, but I'm about to drop a couple quick examples. To my white brothers, I need to borrow this for a minute, you know what I'm saying? We all in this together, you know what I'm saying? I got a couple examples I wanna make, you know. To my white brothers, like I said, I'm borrowing this for a second, all right? Boom. You got a brother who in the Ku Klux Klan, right? You got a brother who in the Ku Klux Klan. He got these kind of books at his house. He got them kind of books about hatred at his house. He got them kind of books. He making videos on YouTube. He in the Klan. He just joined the Klan, right? He just joined the Klan. He got these kind of books on the YouTube. He making videos on the YouTube. Making videos and all kind of stuff like that, right? But even to his brothers in the Klan and all that, until you make an act on that stuff that you talking about, you ain't about that stuff. You don't hate black people. You ain't went out there and slapped nobody yet. You ain't went out there and did nothing yet. You ain't did no kind of, you ain't showing, you ain't acting on the stuff that you talking about. So the stuff that you reading, the stuff that you preaching, this talking, that means nothing, because you have yet to act on it. You have yet to make one act. We don't believe you. You could be undercover in the Klan. We don't believe you because you have yet to act on the hatred that you preach about. Okay, my brothers in the gang, let me borrow this for a second. You know, you in the gang. You got a brother who, you know, he talking this tough. He talking this gang bang. He talking, he gonna pop this. He gonna pop that. He gonna pop this. He gonna do this. He gonna do that. But y'all really don't believe him until you see him do that. When you see him bout that action, when you see him go out there and do that, that's when you know he about that stuff that he claiming he bout. Until you see him do it, y'all just like he talking. He ain't about that action. He ain't about this. He ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? My black activist brothers. We get up here on YouTube, we talk this, we talk that. We talk this black power this, black power that. But until we see actions, we don't believe you. We don't believe you. We see you out here helping people. Not on videos. When we see you out here physically, when you put that into act, when you do it, when you do stuff, that's when we know you about that black power. When we see you helping people, when we see you doing stuff to benefit your people, we know you about that action. But in dogfighting, you just talk about it. Dogfighting, you just talk about it and you a dog fighter. The only damn thing in this country you can just talk about and be it. Because you talk about drugs, you got to go out there and sell them. You can talk about it all day, but we want to see you sell them. You can talk about anything all day long, but we want to see you do it. But you talk about them pits, you ain't got to see that. No, my brothers, you don't got to see it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Sell it to them when you're talking about it. Buy it from them when you're talking about it. And now they got the charge when they say owning, is that basically they trying to read your mind. They saying, we know what you thinking. We know how you thinking. You owning that dog, you got that dog to fight him. He ain't scarred up. He big, he healthy, but you got him to fight him. And I know that's what you thinking because I know what you thinking. I can read your mind. But hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. I hope y'all have a good day out there, PBK9s. I hope y'all have a good day. Hope y'all have a safe day. Places that is raining, y'all stay dry. Places that is cold, y'all stay warm. Where the sunshine at, you know, y'all have fun. You know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, PBK9s, and I'm out.